Cars like this are disappearing.
Oh, listen to that.
A rear-wheel drive roadster, straight six under the bonnet, the roof comes down in seconds. But the thing that really makes this special is right here, a proper 6-speed manual. Manufacturers are killing them off because automatics are faster, easier, and what most people actually buy. So before manuals disappear for good, I wanted to find out if a car like this still makes sense. Not on a racetrack, on a real road. And that's exactly what we're about to find out.
Oh, this thing pulls. So under the bonnet of this beautiful BMW Z4 M40 beats the sweet B58 3-litre straight 6 twin turbo. And out here on these beautiful Belgium countryside roads, I think this engine, this car, it was made for this place.
I've come to Spa in Belgium for a Brit car race, but before the race began, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to drive this BMW Z4.
This is not a city car. This is not meant to be driven at 20 miles an hour through a concrete jungle. These roads, that's what this was made for. And do you know why? Because BMW dared to do something that not many manufacturers do anymore. They put a manual gearbox. So you have to use every one of your limbs. And Jesus Christ, man, it's well worth it. This is the definition of the word engaging. Because every corner you come up to, you got to think about what gear you're in. Then you got to reach down and select that gear. Cars like this, they keep you in the moment. You're not sitting thinking about bills, what to have for dinner. Nothing like that. Oh my God, I love this. No wonder people are screaming, save the manual, save the manual. And just listen to the blips. I love how it downshifts. Oh, you hear that? So how does the acceleration feel in this? It feels like a BM. Now, I'm new to the BM world. My M2 was my entry, and that set the bar higher than I think any other car could. This thing accelerates out of corners just like my M2 does. Yes, my M2 was a 2018 OG M2, but you can still feel that DNA that runs through BMWs. Every time you pull and corner through the bends, it just grips. It's like a point, shoot, squirt car. Like the corners, they approach you faster than you actually realize. It's like now I'm looking for the apex. A little dab on the brakes, foot down, dab on the brakes, drop down the gear. Oh my God. Yeah, man, it's all about the manual. Do you know, when I first jumped in this car, I put my foot flat to the floor thinking it was going to change down gear for me, and I was like, why isn't this car changing down gear? And that's me being like conditioned to an auto box, it just doing all of that for me. It's taken me a few hours of driving this to just remember, yeah, bruv, you got a manual gearbox right between your legs. Well, right between your legs. You got a manual gearbox right between the driver and the passenger seat. Well, on a day like this, on roads like this, and in a country like this, you would be absolutely nuts not to take the roof down, even on the motorway with winds and insects blasting through your face. you would still enjoy it. At speeds like this, through this beautiful countryside, through these villages, I do love the architecture in Luxembourg. But yeah, this is the perfect place to take your roof down and just cruise. There are some parts of the UK that I almost feel that they have hints of European countryside, but just little bits. You have to head down to like Devon, Cornwall, maybe bits of Margate, but they're so very few and far between. Here, this is it everywhere. Everywhere you go, the roads, the valleys, the meandering roads, they're everywhere. You don't have to go far. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Oh, I've died and gone to road heaven. Oh, mate. You need to come to Belgium and just drive these roads just for a weekend. It's so worth it. Oh man, they're beautiful. So how practical is this car for road trips? I can honestly say the boot size is enough for me to carry my luggage, my camera gear, and everything I need. And I feel like this, you don't want anything smaller than this. And I know some supercars have way smaller cabins and luggage space. And I feel like with a supercar, you do have to compromise. You do have to really decide, okay, I'm not carrying this. I'm not taking that. I'm only carrying this. But I think with a car like this, yes, it ain't a supercar. It's no way as powerful. But on roads like this, you don't need it. But what you do need is more luggage space. What if you want to stop, have a picnic? You got luggage space for that. What if you want to buy souvenirs, bottles of wine? You got luggage space for that. That's why I think this car, aesthetically, ergonomically, and technically, makes for the perfect road trip car. Now there are little things that I would say I don't think I could live with. Like, I do like a back seat. I want to be able to just chuck something in the back, and yeah, there is no back seat. But for me, I think that's about it.
Right, enough driving for a minute. Let's pull over and take a proper look around the Z4, because while there's a lot to like about it, it's definitely not perfect.
I've just stopped at a service station and I thought I'd take the opportunity to just kind of walk you around the car, show you some of the things I like about it and some of the things I don't like about it. And I think I'll kick off with the front end. I'm not a big fan of this grille, and BMW, I feel like every new car that they bring out, the grille design just seems to get wider or longer, and I don't know if this will ever grow on me. Knowing that this car shares the same chassis as the Toyota Supra, I definitely feel like the Supra has a better front end than this car. This car's finished in frozen metallic green, which I do like, but it does show the dirt quite a bit, and you do have to make sure you keep this car super clean, else the dirt can eventually fade the paint. The wheel setup is staggered, so you get 19-inch wheels on the front and 20 on the rear with Michelin Pilot Sport tyres. There is a bit of a fake exhaust going on with some manufacturers, but I'm happy to say that this Z4 does not have a fake exhaust, and these things sound super cool, especially when you put it onto sports mode. Front discs are 348mm, rear are 345. Traveling with this car for the last few days, me and Alex, we've been able to get most of our luggage in here. I haven't been able to get all of my camera gear, but you can see that you can get pretty much 2 suitcases and some other bits and bobs.
So after spending the day with the Z4, I think there's still a real place for cars like this. Yes, it's only got 2 seats and you don't get the practicality of something with back seats, but that's kind of missing the point. The combination of rear-wheel drive, a straight 6 engine, a manual gearbox and a roof down just makes every drive feel like an occasion. It's involving, it's rewarding, and it's a sort of car that makes you want to take the long way home. If you're looking at alternatives like the Porsche Cayman or Boxster, the Z4 absolutely deserves to be on your shortlist. It's a proper enthusiast car, and with manual sports cars becoming harder and harder to find, I think cars like this are only going to become more special. If you've enjoyed this review, I'd really like it and I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty more road trips, reviews and automotive content coming soon, so please stick around. I hope you'll enjoy all the content that I'm going to be making. That's all we got time for. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Trevor Joseph and you've been watching Rolling Slow Media.